Our fight against an invisible enemy has turned life in America upside down.
The outbreak spreading across the U.S.
The anticipation of what may happen has us not just cold, but frozen.
Hey everyone, this is Emmy.
And I'm Nick. Welcome to our Quarantine-cation. Welcome to Quarantine-cation, where Emmy and I talk about how we get through 2020.
2020.
How are you doing, Emmy?
How am I doing?
Yes.
I have a really bad case of the Sunday scaries right now.
Super duper bad case.
Normally we don't do this on Sundays.
Yeah, normally we do it later in the week.
Or
we release
early in the week, but...
Yeah.
But it comes out later in the...
Yes, it comes out every Thursday. Normally we record on Monday or Tuesday. Today we're recording on Sunday. And just for context, Emmy asked if I could set up all the equipment, which I
love it when you do it, because you do it right. You do it correct. I'm in the learning process. Yes. I slow us down. You're so good at what you do.
It is helpful, though, when you help. It makes the whole thing go quicker.
I'm sorry.
But today, Emmy wanted to take a bath, so she's like, will you set up before the bath? And I was like, of course, I would love to do that. And then, like, an hour later, I watched a whole Netflix show, that holiday. It goes, like, behind the scenes on how they make holiday movies. Elf was really good. We watched that the other night.
Yeah, it was good. I love Elf.
Yes, and then I watched Tim Burton's.
Was it good? From like what you watched of the movie for the first time last night?
So I've never seen Tim Burton's A Nightmare Before Christmas.
Until last night.
We started watching the documentary. I was like, oh, I should probably watch the movie first. Honestly, that movie, like, it talks about it in the documentary of like how it's just not for everyone. Like,
you didn't like it.
It's just like not from like that dark, cartoonish. Yes, yeah, that's not normally something that like I gravitate to. I really like the behind the scenes look.
You did like it.
I really did enjoy it. Worth watching.
I think you're someone who like loves the process. You love knowing how things are made. And I'm more of like an end goal kind of gal.
Yes, yeah. I love, almost in any context, someone whose creative project went on to be very successful. I love hearing about how they made it.
Yeah, getting ideas.
Yes. However, I watched the whole hour-long thing. I didn't know you were taking an hour-long bath, and then I saw Instagram after, and you made a like, I guess, mental health positivity post on Instagram saying how your mental health has suffered the past like few months.
Yeah.
And you've also talked about it on the show before.
Yes, I have. I just feel like Sundays are hard because I get the Sunday scaries really bad, and then everyone thinks I'm being silly, but I really do. But I feel like in the beginning of COVID, it was a lot of like telling you everything was going to be okay.
Yeah.
You know? And like I believed it would. Like when we did our first quarantine-cation, I was like, we all just have to stick together.
Yeah.
Live, laugh, love. But I feel like the further into it we've gotten, like, the more sad I've gotten.
Yeah.
But I do think a lot of it is that, like, I truly feel like I feed a lot off of other people. And, like, I know the world is sad, which makes me sad. So.
And you were even talking about, like, you were a teacher this year. And like the morale in the classroom is very, very tough.
Yeah.
That students don't want to be there. Yes, yeah.
Yeah, I don't blame them. Sorry.
No.
I don't blame anybody for having a hard time right now because it is a really hard time for everybody. And so like I can totally understand like people's actions and behaviors, and like again, I always say this, like I understand where people are coming from because there's no stability for them. So how can we expect for people to pretend that everything is okay when it's truly not okay? So
yeah,
that's just like really heavy on my heart, and I'm excited for this year to end. It does not feel like December at all.
Yeah,
it's so crazy to me that this is as far as we've gotten. But I am very thankful at the same time for you and for your family and my friends.
Yeah.
So
what has been a helpful improvement to your mental health, and what do you feel like you still need to work on? Or avenues that you're going to pursue to improve the mental health?
I think like things that are working and that are helpful is like I do have somewhat of a routine, which is like something I didn't have this summer, and that's when I started to notice like the decline. Like, there's just too much time on my hands. And like now I know I complain and I wish I had more time, but I do like appreciate that I have time that is like planned out with work and a job. And I know that I get tired, but I'm thankful for it. And I also am thankful like that I have therapy once every 2 weeks. And like now that I'm waiting to find a new one, like I feel like I've bonded with mine, and I'm kind of sad that I have to get a new one.
Yeah. So your therapist is provided by your work for up to 6 sessions, right? And your 6th session is this week.
Yeah, it's coming up. So I'm sad because I really like her.
Yeah.
But
And it's been a positive thing for you?
very positive.
Good.
And she's great. And again, like I highly recommend. I think I've always been a firm believer that everybody should have a therapist, just because it's always good to have like an outside person to talk to who has no biases, and like it's just wonderful. I appreciate it and I appreciate her. But some things that like I feel like aren't gonna change, but like I just need to have some kind of like mental note of like everything is going to be okay. It's really easy for me to just like slip into the world's on fire, everything's not okay, and so I just need to find some way to calm myself down. I think, and I am thankful for you, and I need to remember that like you can't always be with me every second, and I kind of use you as like my blanket when I'm not feeling okay. So again, I appreciate you, and I just need to figure that out for myself. I can't just use you for that. So.
What things have you found comforting, like traditionally, even before this? Like I know cleaning is like something that preoccupies your time. We stayed at a friend's house to watch their dog this weekend. Shout out Alec and Megan, and Duddits is their dog's name.
Duddits, I love you, Duddits.
We stayed at their house from Thursday night to Saturday night. And Emmy, the first night, was like, I think my Christmas present to Alec and Megan is cleaning their apartment. And then starts vacuuming and the whole, I was like, all right, I'm going to go watch TV.
I do.
I will present them with something else.
I use cleaning as like a stress reliever.
Yeah. What other stress relievers that are more,
cleaning? I know. Haley knows our apartment is so clean, like spotless, because that's what I use to relieve my stress. I used, like, before the pandemic, the gym was something that I would use all the time. I would go to the gym every day. And then I have lost so much weight this year from stress that it makes me nervous to go to a gym because I don't want any weight loss. And I know that you don't just lose weight from going to the gym, but also the pandemic makes me feel a little uneasy about going to the gym.
Yeah, I'm with you. There's other things that we could do. I've also been terrible about going to the gym, and I've used the pandemic as an excuse, like solely, like, oh, like I'll get COVID if I go to the gym, even though.
Let's go get snackies.
We take a little stroll on over to the market, get some popcorn and ice cream and champagne. Yeah. I am proud of you. I'm proud of you for being so open about this. When the mental health topic came up here on the show, it was like we recorded the day after you went to your first therapy appointment, and it came up semi-naturally. I think I maybe brought it up, and then as soon as I brought it up, I was like, I'm prepared to edit that portion out because everyone's journey with mental health is their own, and I didn't want to like force you to be in a place where it's like semi-publicly, like we put this on the internet, and while the audience is like the majority of our friends or people we know, eventually hopefully it gets beyond that, and I didn't want to be like, oh, Emmy, I'm gonna like, let's use your mental health journey as a way to get more audience.
No, I feel like I've always been a pretty open book. You would obviously know that. I've just like poured my heart out to you on the second time we ever hung out. And like, I have nothing to hide when it comes to my emotions and where I'm at and like how I feel mentally. And I feel like even when I was thinking about it, I have used like, I look at my Instagram kind of like a diary almost. Yeah. And like other people are just looking at my diary basically. But there was a point where I feel like all I did was like post about my emotions, and like I kind of have stepped away from it. But I feel like that was like when I was the most like mentally healthy as well. Like mentally unwell, but also healthy because I like was talking about how I was feeling, which was making me feel better. And like I know that there's a lot of other people out there that are also not feeling great mentally, and like that's so okay, because literally the world is on fire.
The analogy I've always liked that applies to mental health in like this situation is when someone says to someone who is like struggling with their mental health that like, oh, why do you feel bad? There's so many other people in the world that feel worse. That's the exact same as saying like when someone is hungry and they're like, oh, I'm hungry. And then the response is, oh, well, there's like people starving in Africa. And then the person who's hungry is still hungry. Like the fact that someone else has it worse doesn't mean that your situation is still not as like it's still not
It's
ideal.
valid.
Yeah,
Everyone's feelings are valid.
Yeah, and that's like a common like oh, there's like you have it so good compared to other people. Why are you feeling down? And that's not actually like a
That's not helpful.
yes, it's not a helpful thing.
It's not gonna generate any positive conversations or anything like that.
Yeah.
I know. And that's like another thing is like I feel embarrassed sometimes when I feel this like down, because it's not like nothing good has happened this year either. Like I got a new car this year and I graduated and I have an amazing job and I have just awesome people in my life and we do so many fun and exciting things. And so I just always feel like embarrassed that like even all these good things going on, like I still feel sad and I don't know.
Yeah.
It's not like a switch. I can't just turn it off. It's like one of those like slidey ones that you can like the mood lighting. You know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about.
Okay, well, anyways.
Yeah.
I like your hat.
Thank you. It's actually Emmy's hat. It is a beanie that
I purchased it today.
yes,
I
and
should have bought two.
She lent it to me, and I don't think I'm giving it back.
That's what he thinks.
Yeah.
What about you? How are you doing? I'm sorry to just end the show.
No. Generally, I'm doing good. So, I started a new job about a month ago.
Ooh.
Excuse me. The champagne's giving me burpees.
The burpees. Not the burpees.
Okay. Yeah. And so about 6 weeks ago, I approached a media company out of Omaha and Lincoln, and
When we had COVID,
actually, is when they responded to my email, and they had a very big podcast network, and it was right as I was sort of finished selling sponsorships for all of the Commonwealth media properties, and I thought it would be a good idea to kind of combine the sponsorship focus and like they sell sponsorships for the Commonwealth was my like hope with the meeting, and the discussion quickly turned into a job offer for me, which I accepted, and I've now been working there for like a month, and all of my projects all of the Commonwealth projects and all of my client work and Quarantinecation are getting absorbed by Hurrdat Media, so that's kind of an exciting
I'm so excited
thing
for you.
Yeah, well, excited for us. I do think Quarantinecation by Hurrdat Media, it will help grow the show and all that. And there's just more people that bounce ideas around. Everyone there has traditional media experience, like Sasha, who is our editor or the new editor. She worked at the World Herald. Pat and JT, the directors of podcasting, were like huge radio people throughout the Midwest. I'm excited for you to like get in there. The next Quarantinecation we're going to record in studio so you can meet everyone.
I know. I hope they like me.
Yes, yeah, I'm sure they will. I refer to you as my girlfriend, so I'm excited to start switching that to Emmy.
The gal. Pal.
My girlfriend.
Yeah.
So.
We took your little picture today outside of her dad.
Yes.
Cute boy.
Yes.
I'm so happy for you.
Thank you.
And I can tell that you're like really into it.
I really like it.
Like people that know Nick Kastner, when he gets excited about something, he like goes 1,000% in. It's like when you get a new favorite song and you play it over and over and over again.
Yes, yeah.
Like I can just tell how excited you are. When it's like your little dance move that you do, that's like your life right now, is that dance move.
Well, thank you. Yes, I'm excited. I wish I had more like mental health I guess, experiences to share.
Maybe we could like look into resources. Like we've had the conversation about mental health, and like next we could look into like local resources for others, or like or just like suggestions.
The one resource that I, especially at the start of the pandemic, I was really struggling because all the projects I was working on stopped. I had 2 jobs, was laid off from both of them, and then all my like side projects were canceled basically. And I was really depressed there for a period of time. And the resource that like appealed to me is telemedicine. Oh, because I talked to you. What do you think I was going to say?
Roller coaster tycoon.
Yeah, I did play hours of Roller Coaster Tycoon.
Hours of it.
Hours.
Sorry, that's not funny.
Yeah, played hours of Roller Coaster Tycoon. But telemedicine, it does seem like a I guess, simple solution that you can receive professional help from the comfort of your own room. Yeah.
And what's nice about it is like you don't have to do a face-to-face. You can message somebody.
Oh, really?
With depending on which one you're using, but I think a big thing for a lot of people is like it can be really nerve-wracking and like anxiety. When you have to like sit and talk to a person, especially if you don't have a relationship with them. So
yeah,
we know people like to just message.
Yeah.
DM slide.
That's how Emmy and I met. My DM slide.
We'll talk about that another time.
Different time. Shout out, if he's listened this far in the episode, shout out Lucas Rosenbaum. He's a high school buddy of mine who texted me and said, hey, listen to all the Quarantinecations. I'm on episode 5. I'll let you know what I think. And he's starting from 0. And what I have the relationship with Lucas that if he would listen to the recent ones, the recent ones are like the concept we're tweaking and trying to perfect and all that. So he's slowly getting through all of them. And
from our quarantine?
Back from like day 1.
Here, and go like this. There you go. You got a little curl going up here.
And he said, he's like, I've never, he gave some like a legit reason why he wanted to listen. And he's like, I've never met Emmy. And I thought this was a good way to meet her until like we can start going to social events again. So Lucas Rosenbaum, thank you for being.
Oh no.
Yeah. That's how. I said, let me know what you think, and that was like just broadly like, oh, give me feedback on the show or whatnot. But also like, yeah, we'll see if he likes.
This girl is cracking me up. Also, this whole conversation. But you just have this little guy.
Yeah. Okay.
You need to push him. There you go.
There. Okay.
Okay. Well, Lucas, I hope you get to listen to this episode, and I hope you know that I'm just as excited to get to meet you. Maybe we can set up a FaceTime sometime.
And beam him in. I think that's.
Yeah, we should beam him in.
So at Hurrdat Studio, they have that capability. So we'll have to.
Okay. Well, when we're in their studio, let's do it.
Deal.
Okay.
Deal. All right. And so if you can help me with outro, but if you are a listener and you want your name dropped, hit Emmy or I up on
social media.
On social media, Emmy Jo Has Soul or Nick Kastner. And
Emmy Jo Has Soul.
Yeah. Either or, and we will name drop you on the episode.
Yeah, do it. Sam? Sam, you're coming back with a double shout out.
Do you, we need to start doing an outro. Do you know how to do an outro?
No. This is the outro.
Thank you for listening to today's episode. Please hit subscribe to support the show.
Do it.
Tell your friends about us. Send the link to your friends.
Do it.
We will continue to make Quarantinecation episodes if this continues to grow. So if you like this conversation, please share it with your friends.
Do
like
it.
I just said.
Okay.
We release episodes every Thursday, so stay tuned for next week.
Goodbye.